The impact that MAP had on my family, it was hope. When you find out your kid has autism diagnosed, you just look for everything. At that particular point, we weren't sure what his life was going to be like. Autism was so new to us, and when we brought him here, he was almost locked in. I don't think that he would be where he is now without having come to MAP. So from where Vincent is when he started at 3 to where he is now at 13 years old, I think he's going to have a good life.
One of the most beneficial parts of my job is getting to work with the families. You get to talk to the families on a daily basis and help them work through a lot of really challenging circumstances and see each parent build the skills that they need to be advocates for their child.
We have an inclusive preschool classroom, and we are open to enrollment for neurotypical children. What that means that our kids enrolled for autism services get to be included in the classrooms to be able to practice school readiness skills, communication skills, to help them transition beyond our services. Our clinical team is made up of board-certified behavior analysts. So that's a person who has a master's degree and has obtained national certification. We are a very small program. We can only serve 10 kids in a year. The BCBAs on our clinical team have very small caseloads, and we think that's a huge benefit because our BCBAs get to spend a lot of time getting to know their clients and get to work really closely with the families, so we have strong collaboration from the beginning. One way that we've evolved is understanding that the focus is not on neurotypical development or ensuring that our kids with autism are indistinguishable from their peers, but that the focus is how can we create a foundation for you to be able to learn and to be able to grow and to do all of the things that you have the potential to do.
We really try to look at each child's strengths and use them, and as well as their interest and their motivation as we're building that rapport with them and teaching them to learn from their environment. We've always had a focus on communication, but we have a lot more focus on teaching each child to be an advocate for themselves so that they can grow into more empowered rather than compliant individuals.
We keep trying to teach kids on the spectrum the same way that we teach typically developing children, and that's not necessarily the answer. I'm a very big fan of ABA. When I came here, I did some research on it to just kind of figure it out. If it doesn't work for your kid, that is completely and totally fine, but it worked for mine. I had never really heard Vincent's voice, his personality. He was very quiet. I wasn't sure Vincent was going to be able to talk. So one of the things that ABA therapy does is giving kids rewards when they do things that progress their plan, that you kind of reinforce that with something positive. And so for Vincent, it was bubbles. And so Crystal was getting him to do something, and she was trying to get him to say the word bubbles. She was able to videotape my son's first words, and they were bubbles.
Excellent. Say bubble, bubble. Very good. Say bed.
And, you know, I still have that video to this day, and I think as a 13-year-old, the child still loves bubbles. So for us, bubbles were the first word, but it's also a way that we were able to connect. MAP helps you with everyday life. We want our kids to learn and to be able to sit in the classroom, but those day-to-day things are also so important.
The other thing that sets our program apart is we feel like we're really building future practitioners. We have a 3-tiered practicum course sequence that undergraduate students are taking and learning more and more about ABA as they progress through that sequence. And a lot of them may not even know anything about working in this field, and by the time they come out of this sequence, some of them are going in to become BCBAs themselves.
What I enjoy most about MAP is working with the kids. MAP was a key motivating factor of me attending Meredith. I really wanted to work with kids, especially kids diagnosed with autism. I had no idea that I would fall in love with what this program stands for. After my time at MAP, I actually realized I wanted to go into the field and become a board-certified behavior analyst. I've loved working with all the different types of students. It's taught me a lot about myself as a learner and how I'm going to be as a professional.
My favorite part about being at MAP is really being able to connect with each kid individually and watching their growth through all of the work that we do with them every day. Coming into MAP, I really wanted to do occupational therapy, but through my work at MAP, I was exposed to a completely different field in psychology that I didn't even know existed. A lot of people who work in the behavior analysis field do not get this hands-on, one-on-one experience until they start graduate school. So I think it definitely gives you a leg up in the field and a very unique fieldwork experience.
We have the distinct privilege to watch growth happening every day. Whether it's our kids that we work with, our students, our staff even, we grow inches in our hearts and our knowledge every day that we come to work. And if you think about the ripple effect of this program from its beginning until now, I mean, that's pretty incredible that we get to do that every day.
It's been so wonderful to hear parents say that they don't know where they would be if they didn't have the experience that they had at MAP. Every parent and every child that we have come through the program leaves with a different outlook on life, where when they got their autism diagnosis, they might have been scared and confused. MAP gave them a place to have those feelings, but also build the skills to be able to go through their daily lives and be successful. And I think MAP gives children and families a very good foundation to move forward in their lives.
You have to invest in your child now. Just like we send our kids to preschool, we send children to speech, we send them to occupational therapy, not because they have deficits, but because we want them to get ahead. If MAP fits into your life, it's something that you should really, really consider. The people here are vested in children on the spectrum truly having the best foot forward in life.